Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Truist Stadium in downtown Winston-Salem. Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck as we get you set for an Independence Weekend homestand here for the Carolina Disco Turkeys. Game 1 of 4 to begin the month of July and July 4th weekend against the Statesville Owls. Graham, what are we looking for this evening for a Carolina team as we get into the game day gobble that had some fleeting moments of hope there Tuesday morning into the afternoon in High Point, Thomasville. But, you know, as we talked about on Sunday as well, the door can get kicked open for this ball club. They just can't slam it shut.
Yeah, and it's really tough. I mean, this team's riding a 4-game losing streak right now. After they hit their first winning streak of the year, they won 2 straight last Wednesday and Thursday to start that homestand. But then you lose 4 in a row. And until last Tuesday, or I guess 2 days ago, this past Tuesday, until then, all 3 of the first 3 of that losing streak were by 1 run. So it can be just demoralizing when you get into a streak like that. But this team is a team that can produce offensively. They have guys that can break open a game for you on the offensive side of the ball. They have guys that can make phenomenal plays in the field, and we've seen that all season long. The problem is that not everybody has been on at the same time enough. You'll string together a couple of hits here or there, but that's really the thing that we've seen so much this year is that they're a team that gets on for 1 inning or so, but then can never replicate that. In at least 3 of the losses that have been in the middle of this losing streak, the vast majority of the team's hits and runs have all come in the same inning, and that's going to need to change if the Disco Turkeys want to come out with a dub today.
Well, that was the story Saturday night, too, on the 5-game homestand last week against Boone. Prior to that 9th inning rally, it took Carolina until the 6th inning to get more than 1 base runner on in that inning. So, as you said, the hits have to be strung together, but it has to be strung together over a full 9. You get those big innings, but it's hard to sustain those big innings over the course of 9 innings.
Right, and that's just something that this team's got to work on. I mean, we're past the midpoint of the season right now. This team knows each other very well by now. Over a full month into the season, we've seen this team click on all cylinders, fire on all cylinders. We've seen it happen. They've just got to make it happen more consistently.
Graham, what are your keys to the game this evening?
Well, we already touched on one of them, and it's definitely the biggest one. You've got to make sure that you're staying on your toes for the entire game. You can't just have 1 big inning and then, be satisfied. We saw that on Tuesday specifically against the Locos. The team was down 3-0 going into, I believe it was the top of the 6th, and they got all 3 back in that 1/2 inning. And then after that, it just never was strung together again. No more runs. That was the final offensive output for the team. Final score 10-3. So, you've got to stay on your toes offensively for the entire game. And the same goes for the defensive half of the ball game. You've got to play clean in the field for the entire game. You can't just be on your toes for 1 inning and then just slack off and take innings off on the other hand. You can't let things compile like that. You've got to just be consistent. That's the one thing that this team has been missing the most is consistency. And then the third key to the game is you've got to be disciplined at the plate. You need to start attacking early in the count when you see pitches that are, hittable. You've got to go after hittable pitches and not chase. And we've seen this happen at times for this team, but never all at once. So you've got the right guys in the lineup today to make it happen. You just need to put everything together, and this is a very beatable Statesville team.
Agree on all fronts there. Player to watch tonight.
Oh, it's got to be Austin St. Laurent back in the starting lineup on Tuesday he was back in the starting lineup after missing a couple of games towards the end of that last homestand. He went deep in Thomasville for the first run of that 3-run inning, and see if he can replicate some of that offensive performance here today.
Let's get into the starting lineups. The Foothills Brewing starting lineups presented by Foothills Brewing. Try Foothills great craft beer and coffee in either 3 Triad locations. Find out more at foothillsbrewing.com. First for the visiting Statesville Owls, R.J. Connor will lead things off playing second base. Grayson Chapman, the center fielder, hits in the 2-hole. Kesley Weems, the center fielder, hits third. Gordon Dupert, the first baseman, hits in the cleanup spot. Johnny Hummel behind the plate for Statesville hits fifth. Trey Clary, the right fielder, hits sixth. Jared Simpson, the designated hitter, hits seventh. Mason Staz, the third baseman, eighth. And Garrett Yadick, the shortstop, ninth. Walter Joyce on the mound for Statesville. And for the homestanding Carolina Disco Turkeys, Deion Tubbs will lead things off. He will play center field once again tonight. D. Hawthorne in right field this evening will hit second. Austin St. Laurent back at shortstop in the 3-hole. Logan Conklin back behind the plate hits cleanup. Henry Kohler out in left field hits in the 5 spot. Nick McAdon moves up in the order. The designated hitter this evening hits 6th. Kix Farrell behind him playing third base hitting 7th. His West Texas A&M infield mate, his infield mate again tonight. Kaysen Haggard hitting 8th, wearing number 24 and playing second base. Bryson Beber, the first baseman, hits in the 9 spot. And on the mound for Carolina tonight, it's Ben Taman. With that, first pitch coming up shortly here from downtown Winston-Salem. Back here in downtown Winston-Salem, Truist Stadium, site of a 4-game homestand for the Carolina Disco Turkeys. 5 last week and 4 more this weekend on Independence Day weekend. The mid-season point here for Carolina, Graham, and a lot of things that we can look back on and a lot of good things to look forward on, but a lot of, I guess, the what's the word I'm looking for here? The intensity should ramp up here starting tonight. Tonight's a good litmus test to see where this team stands right now at the midway point.
Oh, for sure. And this is only the second time that these two teams have played against each other. It's been almost a month now at this point. 2 Textile League teams that haven't seen a whole lot of each other. And going forward, they're only going to meet one more time. So this is a really big game here for Carolina. And Ben Tammon on the mound, he's the right guy to make something happen. Shut down the Owls lineup. Last time these two teams played each other, it was a pretty good contest. It was just one big inning from Statesville that did the Turkeys in. They ended up scoring, I believe it was 8 runs in that one inning and just couldn't recover. But a lot to take from in that game. Carolina put up 7 runs. That's the most runs they've put up in a loss this entire season. So on the bright side, you could look at it that way. You know that this is a Statesville team that you're going to be able to hang runs up on.
Well, this is a game I think that if you look back on some that this team wishes they could have done over, that's one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, you just gotta make the most of some opportunities, and they did not. And you know, this is just a game that is going to be really important going forward. You're in the middle of a 4-game losing streak. You got
and
4
a 4-game homestand to try and correct that.
Exactly. 5-13 record so far for Carolina. The run differential's not looking too hot. 81 runs scored compared to 142 allowed. And it's just something that's going to have to change. It's a mindset change. And this team has been in so many close games, and they just haven't gone Carolina's way. And it can get demoralizing, but you got to try to shake all of that off. You got an opportunity to start to right the ship here this weekend before you go on a road trip for about a weekend. So, you know, as we've said many, many times already, this is a really big game.
And that's a pretty big road trip coming up next week, too. One of those in Boone, Greensboro and Martinsville, and then for the first time, Catawba Valley also on that road trip.
Yeah, and that Catawba Valley game, I believe, is still scheduled to be a doubleheader. So that'll be a very exciting day of baseball down in Hickory.
Ben Tanman gets the game ball. Wax gloves with Bryson Beber and kicks Farrell. Everybody takes their spots. Tanman adjusts the belt and is on the rubber and is ready to go. Here at 5:37 Eastern Time in Winston-Salem. First pitch swung on and missed by R.J. Connor. Strike 1. Oh, 1 from Tanman. Slow chopper left side. That'll get foul. 0-2.
Tammon, his last time that he got a start, it was last weekend during that homestand. I believe it was against the Monarchs in that Sunday game, and he was a guy that threw a lot of first pitch strikes. You see the outfield backing up here.
Yep, 7+ against Martinsville on Sunday, and a strikeout to begin the evening for number 13.
And Tammon's a guy that is not a huge strikeout pitcher. On the year, only 26 in 32 innings. But he does lead the Disco Turkeys in that respect. He just doesn't go to it quite as much as the ground ball pitches.
Had 8 on June 4th against the Martinsville Ponies. And the first pitch to Grayson Chapman swung on and missed, strike 1. It's one thing he did really well on Sunday was he lived on the outside corner to lefties. Starts out that way here, goes away again, but it misses 1-1.
It's the first ball thrown by Tanman.
It's a quick 3-pitch strikeout of Connor, and now 1-1 on Chapman. Down on the way, same pitch as the way 0-1, and it's 2-1 now.
It's a good spot, but the home plate umpire not giving it to Tanman. Going to have to adapt to that as this game goes on.
Over the outside corner, good pitch. Count even, 2-2.
And he got the call that time. That's the call that he was looking for the first 2 times up.
Two is fouled away, and he'll stay alive.
D. Hawthorne in right field is playing very, very far back. Only about 10 feet from the warning track in right field.
3-2 pitch in the air to center. But Dion Tubbs has a read on this, shading towards left center. Shades his eyes from the mid-evening sun and makes the play for out number 2.
And Dion's a guy that has been so reliable out there in the outfield this season. He's been reliable all the way around. And we'll talk about this a lot tonight and then tomorrow, but in our midseason awards, Dion's a guy that got a lot of votes for a lot of spots.
That's in there, strike 1 to Kelsey Weems, who's playing center field for Statesville and hitting in the 3-hole as Tamman looks for a 1-2-3 first. High ball 1. That is hammered out to right field, but D. Hawthorne has a read on it, and he dropped it. He'll fire it on to second. Not in time. St. Laurent looked like he got the tag down. The ball popped out, but that's a play D. Hawthorne's got to make.
Yeah, absolutely. We've talked about the definition of errors many times, and it's if you ask the player, should he have made the play? If they say yes, it's an error, and definitely Hawthorne should have made that catch.
Well, it looked like he didn't get a good jump on it to begin with. The sounded a lot louder than I think it went, so to speak. It's loud contact, but he definitely got under it and popped it up. And I think D went more off the sound than he did off the flight of the ball. First pitch now to the cleanup man. That's Gordon Dupert, and he takes outside ball 1.
Landon Dupert,
excuse me. Can you read my own handwriting? 1-0 to him, misses outside now, 2-0. A 2-out runner in scoring position off the 2-base error. And there's those free bases again.
Talked about it all season long. It's been the Achilles heel of this Disco Turkey team. You got to work around it here.
The Achilles feather, if you will. 2-0. Outside, 3-0. Don't want more traffic here with 2 outs.
Oh, but absolutely. But at the same time, you want to be able to get that force at any base. So a walk here isn't the worst thing in the world.
3-0. Had the green light, swung on and missed, and that might not have been the pitch that Dupert should have used the green light on.
I don't think it's the pitch that he thought he was getting. A good change up there from Tamman to take that one and drop it right off the table.
And guarantee you he was not sitting change up. 3-0. 3-1 now. Misses down on the way, ball 4, so it's a 2-out walk. And that'll bring up Johnny Hummel, the catcher.
So already in the first inning, 3 free bases allowed by Carolina. This inning should be over, but instead you've got first and second with 2 outs.
First and second with 2 outs. And again, as you said, 3 free bases, so no hits recorded. The 2-base error and then the base on balls. And Hummel will stand in wearing number 20 tonight for Statesville. The Owl backstop with a chance to drive in a run early. He takes a breaking ball at the knee, strike 1. Good pitch.
A very good pitch there from Tamman. A good job by him to get back in the swing of things with the first pitch strike after starting that last count 3-0 to Dupert.
Beber shading towards the bag. Middle infield shading up the middle. Runner goes for third. Pitch misses low. Conklin's throw down late. And the double steal works perfectly as it's second and third now on a 1-1 count with 2 down to Hummel.
And now you're really in trouble.
Base hit now, scores 2. And with 2 outs, you're running on contact.
Oh, absolutely.
So even soft contact finds a hole. It's 2 runs. Inside, 2-1.
Already 20 pitches now for Tanman when he should have been out of this inning in about 10 or 12.
Two one. Right at the knees, 2-2.
Now that's a very good pitch. There's nothing you can do about that if you're at the plate. You can't swing at that because you're trying to get to the hitter's count 3-1, but good job of painting the corners there by Tanman.
2-2 is the count. Here it comes. That's on the ground to short. Fielded cleanly by St. Laurent. He'll crow hop on to first and make the play. And Ben Tanman works around the 3 free bases and the double steal to get out of the jam. Scoreless through half an inning in Carolina. The Disco Turkeys come to bat after this. Back here in downtown Winston-Salem, Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck. Dion Tubbs in the on-deck circle set to lead things off for the Disco Turkeys as they will try and build off getting out of that jam in the top half of the first inning and get something going offensively.
And Walker Joyce, we did not see him the last time the Owls came to town, but he's a guy that's throwing a lot of velocity up there. Throwing with a lot of velocity, I should say, just in warm-ups. And so Carolina's going to have to adjust to that early on. Remember, we talked about in the pregame show, you've got to jump on hittable pitches early in the count, and you've got to keep the offense going for the entire game. You don't have to have massive innings every single time you come up to the plate, but you got to at least get runners on base. You can't go 3 up, 3 down as many times as Carolina did against the Locos. They did that 5 times in the 9 innings that they came to bat.
Dion Tubbs swings at the first pitch, doing just what you said, aggressive. Fouls it back, 0-1.
Yeah, Dion's a guy that has been swinging on pitches early in the count for the entire season, so he's not one that I'm particularly worried about. It's really everybody else that has, elected to take pitches early in the count, and it's come back to bite them sometimes.
0-1 is taken down on the way, ball 1. Dion, who's hitting .261 on the year. First pitch of the ball game Sunday as he hits the 1-1 on the ground to second. And it's a quick out number 1 for Joyce on the mound in Statesville. That first pitch of the game Sunday for Dion was the Little League home run and one of the highlights of the midseason point thus far. First half of the season for Carolina. And we have something special on that front on the broadcast tomorrow, Graham.
Oh, absolutely. And our midseason awards presented by the Game Day Gobble and, voted on by the interns, everybody that makes this group work, all of our game day staff, voted on some of the most important players for the Disco Turkeys so far in this young season. So those will be fun to look out for tomorrow. Make sure you tune in for the pregame show.
A quick 3-pitch strikeout, and D. Hawthorne didn't even take the bat off his shoulders.
And that's not
That is the exact opposite of what you talked about.
Not only are you not jumping on hittable pitches early in the count, you're just watching them go down. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, all of them called. You cannot do that at any level of baseball.
And here's Austin St. Laurent. We'll see if he can get a 2-out rally going, as if he can reach, Logan Conklin is on deck. St. Laurent takes outside, ball 1. Joyce wearing that iconic number 42 on the black and gold jersey. St. Laurent takes a fastball that's a little bit closer to the corner and gets the call. Strike 1, count even. St. Laurent in his 9 games this year hitting a whopping .346 and takes that one outside, 2-1. St. Laurent actually on Tuesday called the home run that he hit as he takes strike 2, the count even now. Came back in after flying out, told the dugout, I'm going yard next time. First pitch of the AB, took it over the wall in left center. 2-2. Swung on and missed, and Joyce blows the fastball by St. Laurent, and that will end the inning. So it's a quick first inning for Statesville defensively, and they'll come to bat looking to get this thing going in the top half of the second when we come back. Back here in downtown Winston-Salem, Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck. Ben Tanman back on the mound for the Disco Turkeys, and his first pitch of the second inning is promptly grounded into the hole at short. St. Laurent off balance throw, not in time. Oh, goodness, it was on line, and Bryson Beber almost kept his foot on the bag, but was pulled off just enough. And that'll almost certainly be scored an infield hit for Troy Clary.
That's a really tough play on both ends of that defensively, both for St. Laurent and for Beber. Both of those guys very good defensively, but even still with the speed of Clary beating that one out, that is an infield single, 100%.
And in steps big Jared Simpson, the DH, takes in the dirt ball 1. And early traffic here for Tanman behind him against now what's the bottom third of the order coming up. 1-0 is hit in the air down the left field line. Might stay fair. No, it'll bend just foul. And it's strike 1, fortunately for Carolina, as that had extra bases written all over it.
Absolutely. That one's bouncing off the warning track and then the base of the wall. And the way that we've seen that ball bounce over there in that left field corner a couple of times, that could be 3.
Yeah, just ask Nick McAdon about it. Ended up with a triple Saturday night of that variety. 1-1 to Simpson, outside 2-1. You'd think, Graham, maybe try and jam him here, get him to roll over something. But also, you can't risk missing over the heart of the plate to a guy
with a lot of power.
2-1, ripped on the ground to second. Nasty hop for Haggard. He will recover and get the one out, but Clary will advance to second. Well, that ball was smoked, and it took a wicked hop off the lip of the grass. A good job by Haggard just to knock it down, and some stick-to-itiveness to get the one out.
You really want that double play ball there, but hey, you'll take the one out any way you can get it.
Now a runner in scoring position with one out for Mason Staz, the third baseman this evening. Tamman a check on the runner at second. The first pitch to Staz misses up and away, ball 1. Pretty balanced lineup, lefty or righty for Statesville, and something Tamman will have to deal with and figure out how to pitch around. 1-0. Whacked into left, that's a base hit. They will hold the runner at third. A good play by Kohler to cut that off. Medium depth left field and keep the runner at first as well to keep the double play in order, but it's now runners at the corners with one out. And Garrett Yadick to the plate.
And this will be the 30th pitch from Tamman already, only through 1 1/3. You got to find a way to get out of this.
Was far more efficient in his last start. Runner goes to second. That's popped up on the infield, and the infield fly rule will go into effect. Kicks Farrell, settles under it to make the play for a big out number 2.
And we talked about it just a couple of seconds ago. You got to find a way to get out of it. That's the perfect way right there.
One pitch, out number 2. Talk about efficiency.
Absolutely perfect job by Tamman to make sure that you get that out quickly and effectively.
And now back to the top of the lineup, R.J. Connor. Struck out his first time. That is in there, strike 1. And Conklin had a mind to throw over to first, but Simpson was able to double back. Or Staz, excuse me.
I'll be honest, I'm surprised Staz wasn't off and running on that pitch. We saw Connor very eager to swing the stick.
Yep, and Tamman noticed that and makes a throw over to keep Staz honest. Oh, and 1 is the count to Connor. Fouled back. 0-2. Pretty good crowd here on Thirsty Thursday. First, as we told you, of a 4-game homestand, an Independence Day weekend. Fun for you on the broadcast pregame tomorrow. And fun Saturday all day here at the ballpark. And that misses down on the way for a ball. Throw down to second as the runner goes. It's into center field. That's going to score a run for Statesville. Throw to third is not going to be in time from center field. And on the second error of the ball game for Carolina already, Statesville gets a 1-0 lead.
That's really shocking. We've seen Conklin just absolutely dominate runners trying to steal second on him so far this season, and lately he has not been doing that.
0-2 is flared out to shallow left center. That'll drop in, a base hit. The first hit of the day for Statesville will make it 2-0. Actually, that's, the third hit of the day for Statesville. There were 2 that you and I obviously clearly saw, but were not on the scoreboard. But nonetheless, it's an RBI base hit and keeps the line moving for Grayson Chapman, who takes strike 1. 0-1. Runner goes again. Conklin bobbled it. The throw down bounces, and it's not even close in time. And that's 2 stolen bases now against Conklin, who, as you said, Graham, and we've talked about it, how effective he's been at shutting down the running game. Statesville already 2 on the board. 1-1. Out to left down the line. That's going to drop. Run's going to score. Kohler will play it on a hop and hold Chapman to a single, but Connor scores to make it 3-0.
That's the first earned run led up by Tamman so far. But still, you gotta make something happen here. Tamman's throwing strikes. You've got to make plays behind him, and we're gonna have a mound visit here.
And pitching coach A.J. Lewis making his way out to the mound, as well as Logan Conklin, whilst Kirk Cabana will deliver some more baseballs to our home plate umpire. As we told you, some fun before the broadcast tomorrow with our mid-season awards. That should be a lot of fun, and fun here at the ballpark on Saturday as well for the Dash City Independence Day celebration, that is. We'll have Disco Turkeys baseball for you at 3 o'clock. First pitch, live music at 6, 7, and 8, headlined by Winston-Salem native country artist Cooper Allen. And then following his headline set, fireworks presented by the city of Winston-Salem at 9:30. Visit ws-.com for tickets. Those are $15 if you get them by Saturday.
And you talked about the mid-season awards. We're going to get those in at some point this weekend. It could be, if weather comes into play tonight, it could be tomorrow before the game, or if the game tomorrow gets canceled, it could be before Saturday's game. But those are going to be really fun to go over.
There is weather. We hope it'll hold off tonight, and we hope tomorrow it holds off as well, but there is weather looming as the first pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1 as Tanman tries to get out of it, and he throws over to first to keep Chapman honest. Weems reached on the error back in the first on the drop pop fly from D. Hawthorne and right, and Tanman misses outside to him to even the count 1-1. Three runs on just 2 hits so far for Statesville, and that is taken ball 2. Looked close. 4 hits for Statesville, excuse me. 2-1. Up and in, and that might have clipped him. Might have just clipped the equipment of our home plate umpire. Nonetheless, it makes its way to the backstop, and it's a 3-1 count now.
That's 41 pitches now for Tamman through 1 2/3.
Might be time to start looking down to the bullpen soon.
There's a lot of guys available for Carolina tonight out of the pen.
There's a wealth of pitching out of the pen tonight. Scout Nichols is on the top step of the dugout, so that might be a sign. That is hit well out to left center. Tubbs on the run. He's not going to get there. It'll hop high off the field wall. That will be a double for Kelsey Weems, an RBI double at that to make it 4-0. And the wheels are coming off the wagon here in the second inning already.
And that run doesn't score if Tamman doesn't get that wild pitch away from him, and that's the 3rd consecutive hit for Statesville, 5th in this inning.
3rd consecutive with 2 outs, by the way. And a step off from Tamman to Dupert, the power hitting first baseman. And when you play from behind like this, it makes it even tougher. That one misses outside, ball 1.
That's something that Carolina has done a lot of this year, is play from behind. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to get ahead early in ball games as much as they would have liked to.
1-0 is swung on and missed. Conklin threw behind the runner. Now the throw to third, and they got him. So a good play by Conklin there to recognize the runner leading. They get him on the, try and score this, 2-4-5. Put out to end the inning. Carolina looks to make up at least part of those 4 second-inning runs from Statesville, with the middle of the order coming up after this. Back here in Winston-Salem, Truist Stadium, Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck. A 4-spot crooked number in the top half of the second inning for the Statesville Owls has the Disco Turkeys behind the 8 ball and then some as we begin the bottom half of the second. Logan Conklin will lead things off against Walter Joyce, who misses with ball 1.
That pitch did not miss by a whole lot. Very good spot from Joyce.
Joyce has that kind of pseudo sidearm action and gets the call on the 1-0 pitch to even the count. Conklin waxed that one down the right field line, just foul, and had extra bases if it stayed fair. Solid contact, though, from Conklin, who's one of the better hitters on the ball club, as we talked about. Hitting .293 on the year. Third on the team in that respect, and he hits that one in the air to center on his horse, and not going to get there is the center fielder for Statesville, and Conklin will be in with a stand-up double, and he pulls up lame.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
That is not good.
Kelsey Weems was the guy in center that was playing a little too far in, and Logan Conklin trying to get on his horse to second. Pulled up lame. He's holding the inside, it looks like, of his right leg.
Well,
looks like he's pointing to his knee.
But back to the great hit. Homage to the Phoenix Suns, who just advanced to the NBA Finals. Do you not know? Have you not heard? Logan Conklin is going to burn you if you play in on him.
Henry Kohler now takes strike 1, whether he checked the swing or not. It was a strike nonetheless, and Conklin appears to be all right. He's still in there at second. Kohler swings and misses big time, and a fastball off the plate away. 0-2. Cannot afford to let that leadoff double go to waste. 0-2. Kohler rips it onto the right side. It's fielded cleanly. The throw on to first in time, but it's a productive first out as the play is made by Connor. That moves Conklin over to third with 1 down. And now a fly ball at the very least will get him home from Nick McAdon, who has been swinging one hot stick when he's had a chance to hit recently. Hitting .231 on the year. 6 hits, 5 RBIs. And he had the triple on Saturday night against Boone as he takes strike 1 from Joyce.
Didn't see McAdon do a whole lot in the game against the Monarchs or against the Locos, but good to have him back in the lineup.
0-1 right there, strike 2.
That's a phenomenal spot from Joyce. Oh, my goodness.
And that's, that pseudo sidearm action is deceptive When you can spot it like that, outside righty on righty, it gets even tougher. Here comes the 0-2. That's on the ground. A look back to third. Now Conklin's going to break for the plate. The throw, not in time. Great base running by Logan Conklin. Macedon's out at first, but more importantly, Conklin comes in to score as the risk pays off.
That's a great play from Logan Conklin, especially because everybody saw Conklin pull up Gimpy into second base. They're not expecting him to break home on that throw to first. First of all, I would have liked to seen a little bit more hustle from Macedon, because in a situation like that, sometimes even just a hard 90 can throw the pitcher off and you'll draw a bad throw and you might be safe at first. But credit Conklin with all of the credit in the world, because he made that play all by himself, and it was a great one at that.
If you saw Joyce kind of try and look him back, and then Conklin kind of made a move back towards third as the 0-1 to kicks Farrell misses outside to even the count. You saw him kind of break back towards third, and then as soon as he saw the throw go to first, took off. 2-1 is the count now on Farrell as Joyce is working quickly and then some. 1-1 the count, excuse me. That is low and outside, 2-1.
Might have gotten a little thrown off there.
It is indeed 3-1. All right. Here it comes. Right on the outside corner, full count. Kicks trying to keep this bottom half of the second alive. Carolina able to scratch one across. 3-2 pitch. That is hit down the right field line over the glove of Dupert and down the line. Farrell on his way to second. He'll be in there standing with a 2-out double.
And that's what you like to see from your third baseman. Farrell's a guy that's been very, very hot and cold so far this season. And if he can be hot in this game for Carolina, that's the second double in the inning. He's proving that this guy, Joyce on the mound, is a hittable pitcher, and that's exactly what Carolina needs right now.
And here's his West Texas A&M infield mate, Kason Haggard. With a runner in scoring position at 2 outs, Haggard takes inside, ball 1. 8 appearances this year for number 24, the Canyon, Texas native, hitting .286. 1-0. Right on the black, strike 1. Bryson Beber is on deck if Haggard can reach.
It's good to see Haggard back in the lineup. He missed the majority of that homestand and the game against the Locos on Tuesday.
1-1 to him on the outside corner, strike 2.
That's a pitch that you got to swing at. I know it's outside, but on a 1-1 count, runner in scoring position, you got to get something going.
It's a similar pitch that Farrell drove the other way for a double.
Exactly.
1-2. That's driven the other way, just foul.
Man, that was close. That was very, very close.
Well, I like the approach right now. We saw it from Conklin, the pitch before the double. We saw it on the double from Farrell, trying to take that fastball up and in that he's got working and try and inside out it. 1-2. Swung on and missed, and Joyce will work around the 2-out double, but Carolina makes a bit of a dent into that 4 spot from Statesville. They scratch one across in the bottom half of the third inning after this. Looking for an opportunity to promote your local business? Contact us today to become a sponsor of the Carolina Disco Turkeys. Opportunities start at just $100 per season. To learn more, email sponsorships at discoturkeys.com. That's sponsorships at discoturkeys.com. Brett Wiseman back alongside Graham Tuck here from Truist Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Disco Turkeys and Statesville Owls in a 4-1 ball game as we begin the third inning. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 due up. Gordon Dupert, the first baseman. Landon Dupert, will get it going. Still can't read my own handwriting. First pitch from Tanman. Well hit out to deep right field. That's got a chance to leave the yard. It's off the wall. Played well by D. Hawthorne. He'll get it in, and it's a loud leadoff double for Landon Dupert to start the third.
Man, oh man, I've been going to baseball games here at Truist for a very long time, and I think that may be the farthest up that right center field wall that I have ever seen somebody hit a baseball. That ball was crushed.
I mean, you got to get every bit of it and more to get it out there to right center. I mean, you see where it is on the video board. Underneath the video board, it's 427, and not that much further in is where the base of the wall is. And a big swing and a miss from Hummel, strike one.
That's the way you get back in the swing of things if you're Tanman. Go right after the guy next in the order after you give up a big base hit.
Selective amnesia, 0-1. Just missed outside. Good spot, though, for the breaking ball, but the count even 1-1.
And Tanman leads the Disco Turkeys in innings pitched this year with 32. Nobody else even has 24. He's got a pretty sizable advantage. And as such, he's the leader in strikeouts as well with 26. And ahead in the count 1-2,
yeah.
He is well on his way to number 27.
Got him to whiff on the breaking ball right there. Good stuff down on the way. Be a big first out if he can get it. It's already 6 hits now for Statesville. 1-2. Ripped down the left field line, and that will stay fair right over top of the chalk. And it's another RBI double for Statesville, the third already, and they get that run right back. It's 5-1.
Man, that is brutal. That is absolutely brutal. Tanman's throwing good pitches, and he's throwing hittable pitches, which is what you're supposed to do if you're a pitcher. You got to put something over the plate. You can't just walk everybody you see, but it's a really tough scene so far for the Carolina defensively.
Yeah, it's not like he's throwing bad pitches. He's pitching to contact. They're just finding holes. That one's popped up into shallow left center. St. Laurent on the run, and it drops in between everybody.
And Kohler and Tubbs have got to be more assertive on that fly ball. That was a very catchable fly ball. And now instead of a runner on second, 1 out, you got runners on the corners and no outs.
Here's Jarrett Simpson. He grounded into that fielder's choice, but made solid contact his first time up. First pitch to him is hit in the air down the left field line, and that will get out of play, out of the reach of Farrell and Kohler for strike one. Tanman came down and in on him, and that's also not somewhere you want to miss any further over to the middle of the plate with.
And Simpson hit that very hard ground ball last time up, as you said, so a lot of hard contact so far for Statesville.
0-1. Runner goes for second. Pitches a strike. The throw down. Got him. That is a big-time first out right there on the caught stealing.
And that's what we're used to seeing from Logan Conklin. That is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Disco Turkeys. And an 0-2 count.
Yep, and ahead in the count is Tanman. Oh, 2. Got him. Big swing and a miss from the big DH for Statesville. and very quickly now 2 down.
Stas had that single his last time up as he comes to the plate now for Statesville. Just got it into unreachable territory out there and left, and a single here would put another run on the board.
Here's the first pitch to him. That misses in the dirt, ball 1, but a good block by Conklin. Tammon already up to 55 pitches through just 2 2/3 thus far.
And with 8 hits allowed, he's lucky that there's only 5 runs on the board.
We've got stretching action in the bullpen as that misses outside, 2-0 to Stas.
And it's Scout Nichols that's up for Carolina in the pen.
If Stas can reach, Garrett Yadick is on deck. 2-0. Hit back up the middle, diving stop, St. Laurent knocks it down, but that'll be all. The run will score, and it's 6-1 Statesville. Tremendous effort, though, by number 12 to at least get a glove on it.
Next up, the shortstop, number 2, Garrett Yadick.
And now Garrett Yadick will stand in. The shortstop and 9-hole hitter popped out his first time. Takes outside ball 1 from Tanman. Hit to third, picked by Farrell. Throw on to second for the force out, and that will retire the side. So Statesville puts across 2 more. They've already got 10 hits on the evening, and they lead 6-1 after 2.5 in Winston-Salem. Back here in Winston-Salem, Truist Stadium, Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck. And Bryson Beber will stand in for his first at-bat of the ball game. The first baseman for Carolina this evening, try and get something going offensively and try and put a dent into what is now a 6-1 deficit.
And just hard hit balls seemingly every time somebody new steps into the box against Ben Tanman.
Strike 1 on the inner half there to Beber, and the count even 1-1. Whacks that one up the middle. Unable to make the play as Connor as it scoots under his glove, and it's a base hit for Bryson Beber to lead off the third.
Yeah, that's a way to put a piece of wood on a high-speed pitch coming in from Joyce. He's done a really good job of, really the whole Disco Turkey lineup has done a good job of adjusting to the velocity.
And now here's Dion Tubbs. Go ahead, Graham.
No, that's it. Beber's been swinging a good stick lately, too.
Tubbs, big rip at the fastball, but he didn't get it. It's 0-1. To short, hit hard, 6-4, no chance at the second out on the double play, so it'll be a fielder's choice, and Dion will swap places with Beber. And D. Hawthorne coming up.
Next up, right fielder, number 20, D. Hawthorne.
D's got to have a quick bat here. First pitch to him. Maybe a little too quick. Strike one. Check on Tubbs at first. And a throw back.
That's a wise throwback.
Yeah, Joyce already wary of the threat that Dion Tubbs poses on the base pass. The 0-1, there he goes. Pitch misses inside. Throw down is into center field. Dion will stay put, though, as it's cut off well by Weems coming up to make the play and hold Dion at second. But he's got another stolen base to the total. Number 13 on the year for the McKendree College product.
Oh, and in case you were wondering, the next closest player in terms of stolen bases to Dion has 6. That's Caleb Smith. He is more than double the amount of stolen bases as Caleb.
Hawthorne swings and misses at a fastball up and in for strike two. He's got to find a way to put one in play here.
Got to move the runner over at the very least.
1-2, got him. Threw 3 fastballs right by him. And now it'll be up to Austin St. Laurent to try and scratch another one across.
Already the second K of the day for D at the plate. D's a really boomer bust guy on in the batter's box. He strikes out a lot, but when he makes contact, it's really, really solid. So you have him in there for that.
First pitch to St. Laurent. Grounded to short. Fielded cleanly by Yadick, and the throw on to first in time, and Joyce works out of it. Carolina strands one. They continue to trail 6-1 after 3 in Winston-Salem. Back here at Truist Stadium in downtown Winston-Salem, Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck as The Statesville Owls hold a 6-1 lead here in the top half of the fourth over the Carolina Disco Turkeys. And back to the top of the lineup at R.J. Connor. Has Ben Tamman out for his fourth inning of work and throws a breaking ball in the dirt for ball one.
And that's pitch number 60 for Tamman already, just into the top of the fourth inning.
10 hits surrendered, 4 of the 6 runs earned. That's popped up on a high breaking ball to the right side. Kaysen Haggard will call off Bryson Beber and make the play for out number 1.
That's a good way to start the inning. You want to try to keep that leadoff man from getting a board in. Surprisingly, the 2 times that Connor, the leadoff man in the order, has been the leadoff man of the inning, he's gotten out both times. The other 2 innings, leadoff man has gotten a board.
Here's Grayson Chapman. And that is, sounded like it broken bat out to left center, and it's going to drop in a base hit. So a splintered single. And you can see there, Kelsey Weems checking that bat, and
yeah, you heard it there. It finally snapped.
It definitely snapped right there. So runner at first and 1 out for Weems, who swings and misses strike 1.
And you see what Statesville is doing. They're swinging on the first pitch almost every single time unless it's up above their eyes or it's in the dirt. And it's paid off for them. They've got 10 hits already.
11 after that, as that's up and in ball 1. One in the dirt behind Conklin, but able to recover quickly and keep Chapman at bay, but it's ball 2. Misses inside, ball 3 now. And dealing with the middle of the lineup, not ideal at this point. 3-1. That's popped up down the right side. Beber is going to give it a look, but it's out of play. Strike 2.
You take that second strike any way you can get it. It's something we say a lot, but it really doesn't matter how you get, the first out, how you get the second strike, anything of that nature. You just need to make sure that you get it down.
3-2 up and in ball 4, and it's a 1-out walk to Weems, and now in steps the big bat of Landon Dupert, who hit one about 400 feet his last time up and missed a home run by maybe 1.5 feet.
It was not much, I can tell you that.
Tamman looking to roll the ground ball, or at the very least get it out here. First pitch. Fouled off to the left side, 0-1.
Double play ball here would be phenomenal.
Middle infield is at double play depth.
This will be the 70th pitch for Tamman. Scout Nichols still up in the bullpen for Carolina.
0-1 to Dupert on the way from Tamman. Foul tipped into the mid of Conklin for strike 2.
That's the way to go at somebody. After they get a big knock off you the last time up, challenge them, attack them on the mound.
Has the sign he wants from the stretch, and a step off and a check on both runners. Good idea, I think.
Yep, Chapman was getting a bit too sizable of a lead at second base for Tamman's liking.
Check on him again. Tamman from the stretch, the 0-2 pitch. That is absolutely hammered out to deep right field and gone by a plenty. Landon Dupert, worthy of a mega bat flip that time, hits one over the seats in right for a 3-run shot, and it's 9-1 Statesville.
We talked about he just missed one last time, and he did not miss that one at all.
And the Owls have busted this thing wide open here in the top half of the 4th inning, and now here comes Kurt Cabana. And he's going to give Ben Tanman the hook. Scout Nichols on to pitch for the Disco Turkeys. Tanman will get a deserved round of applause. So Scout Nichols on to pitch. Have more after this. Back here at Truist Stadium, could close the book on Ben Tanman, and it was one to forget for number 13. 3 1/3 innings pitched, 22 batters faced, 11 hits surrendered, 9 runs given up, 7 of which earned, 2 errors behind him, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. The Scout Nichols, the sidearm right-handed reliever, who got right many votes in that category in our midseason awards, which we'll have for you tomorrow before the ball game as cloud cover has made its way over top of Truist Stadium.
That was an uncharacteristically poor outing for Tanman, especially as of late. He had finally hit his stride. Tanman was a guy that, as a reliever, did not do very well at the beginning of the year and just got absolutely rocked today. And that's really the first time we've seen a team just jump all over a Disco Turkey pitcher. Just, as you said, 22 batters faced, 11 of them recording a hit. And of those 11 hits, 4 of them were for extra bases. You can't do that on the mound. And it's just shocking to see. And now, from an offensive standpoint, how do you come back from that? You're faced with a 9-1 deficit, not even into the middle of the 4th. It's just demoralizing. You got to find a way to work around it if you're Carolina.
Especially when you get one that hit that far. Talk about a gut punch. Onto the concourse in right field as that one, first pitch from Scout Nichols, misses low. Ball 1. To the catcher, Johnny Hummel.
It didn't miss by much.
1-0. That's well hit out to left field. Kohler in his tracks, though, will make the play for the second out.
That's exactly how you bounce back on the mound. Scout Nichols is a guy that all year long he's been tasked with coming in difficult spots, and it just doesn't bother him. Doesn't bother him whatsoever, and that's the kind of mentality you need to be a good reliever, and he's got it for sure. And Troy Clary will step into the box, the right fielder for Statesville.
First pitch to Clary is inside, ball 1.
A little bit up in the zone as well.
Swung on and missed. Good slider that time from Scout Nichols. Evens the count at 1.
Yeah, really good slider. That's one of the best breaking balls we've seen number 11 throw all year long. And trust me, we've seen a lot of them. This is his 12th appearance.
1-1 in there, inside corner, strike 2. He's third on the team in innings pitched, as you noted, 17 2/3 thus far. It'll be up to 18 even after this half. 1-2 to Clary. Swung on and missed. Nasty slider that time from Scout Nichols to retire the side. But 3 more on the monster 3-run shot from Landon Dupert. And it's 9-1 Statesville through 3.5. Back here in downtown Winston-Salem, Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck. Logan Conklin will get things started for Carolina as they try to mount what would be their largest comeback yet. Down a whopping 8 runs after a 4-run second, a 2-run third, and a 3-run fourth off the heels of a mammoth 3-run blast from Statesville. And they are more than behind the 8 ball now, trailing 9-1, and Logan Conklin takes a big rip at that one and fouls it off for strike 1 from Walter Joyce, who has been nothing short of good thus far for the Owls, as he pounds the outside corner with that one right on the black for strike 2. Here comes the 0-2 on the outside corner, strike 3, and Conklin nods his head at it. He knew it, and he's out number 1.
Conklin, after that big double last time up, to see him go down looking. We talked about demoralizing things in a dugout. That's one of them. To see one of your best guys go down looking on 3 pitches.
Now Henry Kohler will stand in. Takes down an in-ball 1.
That's already strikeout number 5 for Joyce.
There is time to get something going. Kohler on the ground to third. Picked on his short hop. And making the play 3 unassisted is a new first baseman, it looks like.
Yeah, we don't have their full roster, but it is number 17 in black standing in at first base. After a couple of big shots from Landon Dupert, they pulled him.
Now batting number 18, the DH.
Yeah, maybe he just said, no, don't, I want to end on that. Don't put me back out there.
Honestly, I can't blame him.
I can't
That
blame
was
him
a
either.
Moonshot.
At least 440 maybe, at the very least.
And that's not exaggerating, as you
No.
sometimes do.
Macedon on the ground is short, and it goes right under the glove of Yadick, who olays it, and it's a 2-out base runner for Carolina. And R.J. Connor is giving him the business over there, too. With an 8-run lead, I guess you can feel comfortable enough to joke about that kind of thing on the field of play.
That is third baseman, number 27.
And Carolina trying to rally here, and they got time to do it.
Farrell with a big double down the right field line his last time. See if we can do it again.
Up the middle, base hit for Kix Farrell. Macedon makes the wide turn at second, but will hold there, and it's 2 on, 2 out. After the E6 and then the single, which will bring Kaysen Haggard to the plate.
Kaysen struck out his last time up. He's a guy that struggled at the plate this year. Very sound defensively, so that's why you've got him in the lineup. But we know what Haggard can do from time to time. On the year, Haggard batting .286 with 6 hits, many of those coming in that last homestand.
On the ground, picked by Joyce, and he'll flip on to first, and again, out of the jam. Carolina strands 2 more. They trailed 9-1. Back here at Truist Stadium in downtown Winston-Salem, Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck as the Statesville Owls hold a 9-1 lead on the Carolina Disco Turkeys. Scout Nichols back out for his second inning of work now.
Leading off the DH, number 35.
And it's Jared Simpson, the DH, to lead things off. Cannot let this thing get any more out of hand than it already is to this point if you want to try and make a comeback. Mitch misses outside ball 1.
Well, let me put it to you this way. Simpson is one of only 2 players in the Statesville lineup without a hit so far. And there that goes.
You jinxed it. Base hit for Simpson. The 12th of the ball game for Statesville.
So now Garrett Yaddick, who's on deck, is the only Owls throughout the lineup so far who has had a plate appearance and does not have a hit.
No pressure, Garrett. Mason Staz steps in with the leadoff base runner aboard and takes ball 1 inside. Scoreboard has it as 2-0, but it is indeed 1-0.
The scoreboard here in Winston, that is.
That is indeed. 1-1 the count now as that one catches the outside corner from number 11 in white.
And Nolan Fernandez is up in the bullpen. A new ad for Carolina. I believe that this might be Scout Nichols' last inning.
This might be indeed as the count now 2-1.
From Pikeville University in Kentucky, or University of Pikeville, I should say.
Pike down and away, 3-1 now. And the clock might be ticking if Scout can't find the strike zone. Here comes the 3-1. That catches the outside corner. 3-2 now.
Very good pitch. Way to get back in at 3-1. That's one thing that Carolina does a lot on the mound. 3-1 counts. They get back into it and force a full count 9 times out of 10.
Scout back on the rubber. A check on the runner at first. The 3-2. Swung on and missed. Big time strikeout right there.
Big time is exactly the right word to use for that. My goodness.
Stas took a hack and a half at that breaking ball, and all he could do was come up with air on it.
So that ruins his perfect day. He was 2 for 2 going into that plate appearance. Good job, Scout.
Here comes Yadick. Breaking ball inside corner. Painted, strike 1. Oh and 1 is the count. Here it comes. Swung on and missed. 0-2. Oh, that was filthy.
And as filthy as it was, Yadick still reached a little bit. That one started farther outside of the zone than Scout probably would have liked, and it just broke further and further.
0-2. Grounded foul, and Yadick will stay alive.
And Connor, the leadoff man, is on deck. And unless Scout Nichols gets a double play ball here, he'll be up.
Another 0-2 coming. Strike 3 called outside corner. Absolutely Picasso painted the fastball.
Well, that's how you rebound from a leadoff base hit. 2 straight Ks, one of them backwards. Good work on the mound from number 11.
I mean, you could not have placed that fastball any better on the outer half. Right on the black, and a lineup card will flip back over now.
For the 4th time.
Already. R.J. Connor pops that one foul over the screen, strike 1. And Scout Nichols ahead in the count once again. Statesville looking for win number 9 on the year. 0-1 to Connor is outside into the backstop, and no chance at second, and Simpson will reach second on the wild pitch that time as it's 1-1. Wasn't a bad pitch, but a little bit further outside than I think he would have liked.
And then Conklin was expecting, most importantly. So now for the 5th consecutive inning, Statesville has a runner in scoring position.
And
All
it is
5
indeed
innings.
the 5th inning.
Exactly.
0-1. Don't know quite where that missed, but it's 2-1 now.
That one looked a bit outside.
Here it comes. Foul tipped into the mid of Conklin, and the count evened up 2-2. It's the second time he's gotten somebody with that high breaking ball to come out of their shoes on it. That's not somewhere you want to live with that pitch, but deceptive enough to have forced that a couple of times at least. 2-2 in the dirt, couldn't get him to chase, and the count goes full.
You love the crowd staying in it despite the 8-run deficit for Carolina.
Absolutely. 3-2. On the ground to second. Haggard will field it cleanly and throw on to Beber at first for out number 3. Good job by Scout Nichols to get through that last inning and 2/3 scoreless to the bottom half of the 5th. Halfway through this one in Winston-Salem, Statesville up 9-1.
One.
Back here at Truist Stadium in downtown Winston-Salem, Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck. Bottom half of the fifth inning, and Bryson Beber will lead things off, who has got a single to his credit thus far. And that's grounded to third on one pitch. One out to begin the fifth inning as the play made by Staz to the new first baseman, Tyler Prell.
And that's actually a new third baseman as well. I believe that's Caden Howell out there at third base.
Next up, the center fielder, number 3, Dion Tubbs.
And now Carolina's number 3, Dion Tubbs, will step in. Big rip at that one, but he didn't get it. It's 0-1.
And Tubbs is riding a 5-game hitting streak. He's 0 for 2 so far.
Tubbs hits that in the air out to left center, but he got under it just a bit as the catch is made by Chapman for out number 2. So 2 quick outs to start the fifth, and D. Hawthorne, hoping to change the mojo, has picked up a different bat, and it appears to be Nick Macadon's, actually.
Props to you for recognizing that. I would not have been able to tell.
First pitch to him. Up and in, ball 1. Macadon's, I'm a bit of an equipment nerd, has got the American flag bat tape, the lizard skin on there, swing and a miss, strike 1. The pine-colored Marucci Anthony Rizzo model, if you will. 1-1. Big rip at that one by Hawthorne again, and he's behind it, 1-2.
And he'll step out wisely and call time. Joyce has been working quickly all day, and he's been throwing fastballs at Hawthorne all day, too.
Up and in as well. 1-2. Again, swing and a miss, strike 3. 3 quick outs, and Joyce is rolling. We are through 5 in Winston-Salem with the Owls holding a 9-1 lead. Hey, Ostentation Nation, visit the Foul Territory Team Store today in order to grab all your favorite Carolina Disco Turkey merchandise to show your team spirit. You can visit the team store here at Truist Stadium during our next home game. We're here all weekend, or at discoturkeys.com. Of note, as well as there being still a limited number of Pride t-shirts and koozies available on the website, jerseys and on-field player hats are available for pre-order, both the road blues and the home whites you see tonight, as well as the navy blue caps with the orange bill, all 3 available for pre-order at discoturkeys.com. New pitcher on the mound for Carolina. It's number 35, the U-Pike product, Nolan Fernandez. who in 2021 at U-Pike, 7 innings pitched, total 10 strikeouts, and a 9.27 ERA. Here's his first pitch as a disco turkey. It swung on and missed for strike one. Oh, 1 from Fernandez is a breaking ball on the outside corner for strike number 2.
Like what I'm seeing from Big 3-5 up there so far.
Misses outside, 1-2. Big time fastball, and it swung on and missed for out number 1. Good start for Fernandez.
4 pitches, 1 strikeout, not bad.
And Kelsey Weems is not up to the plate. It is number 30 for Statesville. That's Ty Stas. And Fernandez's first pitch missed for ball 1. Takes a big rip at that one, and he didn't get it. It's strike 1. Like what I see so far. 1-1. Well hit to the left side and completely out of Truist Stadium over the awning. Actually, it deflected back in, so somebody will get a souvenir. It's 1-2. Here it comes. On the ground to second. Haggard will field cleanly and throw on to first for out number 2. And just what the doctor ordered out of the bullpen from big number 35.
And mercifully, Landon Duper is out of the 4 spot for Statesville. After a 2-for-2 day, both balls that he hit, he walked his first time up and stole second base. Both balls that he hit went at least 400 feet, one of them a double, one of them a 3-run homer.
Is Tyler Prell, who has taken the spot at first base and swings and misses on that one for strike 1. 1-1 is the count from Fernandez. And that is on the ground, foul, 1-2.
This has the potential to be the first hitless inning since the first defensively for Carolina.
The 1-2 from Fernandez. Swung on and missed. How about that? The new kid on the block with a 1-2-3 scoreless 6th inning. And Carolina will look to rally. And they trail by 8 here in Winston. Austin St. Laurent will lead things off for Carolina here in the bottom half of the 6th inning, and you can close the book on Walter Joyce as the new pitcher on the mound is Dawson Salter. Final line on Joyce: 5 innings pitched, 20 faced, 4 hits, just the 1 run earned, and 6 strikeouts on 58 pitches.
And no walks. The only free base was an error.
And St. Laurent will ground one off the foot of the new pitcher, Dawson Salter, a kick save and a beauty, and out number 1.
And on the other end of the field, how about Nolan Fernandez coming in?
Number 6, Logan Conklin.
3 up, 3 down. First time Statesville's gone down in order today. First inning that they haven't had a base runner.
With the middle of the order due up, this was the inning to get something started as the clock is ticking. First pitch to Conklin is in there, strike 1. Oh and 1 the count to the Carolina catcher. Swing and a miss as that one bounced off the plate. 0-2.
Conklin struck out looking his last time up. You see him pound himself in the head right there behind 0-2 for the second straight count. Got to make something happen here.
Here it comes. Ripped to the right side, but foul, and he'll stay alive.
And keep in mind the 10-run rule is in effect, so if Statesville gets 2 more, Carolina would have to stay within single digits to keep the game alive.
And that's on the ground up the middle. And Conklin thrown out by Yadick for out number 2. Good play by Yadick to range over and field that one cleanly.
That is now the 6th consecutive disco turkey retired by Statesville. The last disco turkey with a hit was Kix Farrell in the bottom of the 4th. And before him, it was Bryson Beber just an inning before. But that was nearly an entire trip through the lineup.
Henry Kohler rips one into right. Oh, my goodness! I thought for sure that was going to be a base hit. But R.J. Connor climbed the 50-foot ladder and had other ideas. He takes what probably would have been extra bases away from Henry Kohler to end the 6th inning. 2 of the 7th, 9-1 Owls. Back here at Truist Stadium in downtown Winston-Salem, and some changes to tell you about defensively in the field for Carolina. The most important of which is Henry Kohler making his debut on the mound for the Disco Turkeys. We've seen him kind of threatening to warm up a couple of times thus far this season, but We'll see what number 15 the Davidson College product has.
And a pretty easy line score for Nolan Fernandez. 1 inning, 3 batters faced, no hits, 2 Ks, 12 pitches. Very efficient work from
the new arrival as of today.
And who I was told is scheduled to get the start tomorrow should that game go on as scheduled.
So a good warm-up outing for him, if you will. Replacing Kohler in left field is Keaton Westhoff. And Dane Stewart has taken over in right for D. Hawthorne.
Still remains to be seen where each of those guys are going to bat in the order now.
The first pitch from Kohler is pounded on the inside corner for strike 1. Good stuff.
And Hamels, 1 for 3 today with a double.
And that's in the air to shallow center. Tubbs coming on and able to settle under it to make the play off of Hummel for out number 1. And now it'll be Troy Clary, still the right fielder for Statesville.
12 hits on the day for Statesville, but none in that last inning.
The batter's right fielder, number 13, Troy Clary.
And I'll tell you this. Every normal position player that has gone in to pitch for Carolina this season has not allowed an earned run.
Somebody knock on wood right now. Oh my, a Zach Greinke-like eephus breaking ball is whiffed on for strike 2.
And you can see the smile on Kohler from up here.
I know you can't see our faces, but we're both smiling. He tried it again, but the fish ain't biting 1 and 2.
And Christian Ezel is up in the pen for Carolina as well.
Oh boy, we're bringing out all the stops now, aren't we? Stad is strike 3 called on the outside corner. And a quick 2 outs for Henry Kohler.
Well, hey, I'll take it.
How about a 1-5?
The batter's at the age number 35, Caleb Simpson.
Here's the first pitch to Simpson. That's on the outside corner, strike 1. All right, Henry. I like what I see.
That's a big change in speed, and it's tough to adjust to as a hitter. You would think that it would be much easier to hit something of a lower velocity, but when you're used to seeing, the velo of a normal pitcher that's throwing, mid-80s about on average, you make that transition where the fastball's coming out mid-60s.
Whoa!
It can be tough to adjust to from a hitter's standpoint.
Well, it could also be tough to adjust when he tries to throw mid-80s and it almost nails Boogie. One, two. Oh, boy. That's a real good take right there.
And Simpson is claiming that it hit him. I believe it did.
It looked from up here like it did.
I think it hit the dirt first.
It might have hit the dirt first. Therefore, once it hits the dirt, it is indeed a dead ball. But Simpson, just like every other player in the history of baseball, wants the extra on-base percentage. And that is fouled off. It will roll still in fair territory, but it was off of Simpson, so a foul ball nonetheless. Henry Kohler trying to get the third out in his first appearance on the mound. And that one, pretty good fastball that time, and Simpson laid on it, fouls it off to the left side into the seats. Three-two pitch is foul tipped into the mid of Logan Conklin, and it's a scoreless 7th inning for Henry Kohler on the mound. Good stuff from number 15 as he comes in from left field and throws up a 0. To the bottom half of the 7th, Statesville still leads it 9-1. Back here in Winston-Salem, Keaton Westhoff will make his first at-bat of the evening to lead off for the Disco Turkeys, as they will try and make
Leading off the Disco Turkeys, number
trying to at least get a rally going here to start making a comeback. They got 9 outs to get 8 runs, and that clock starts on the first pitch from Dawson Salter, which is in the dirt and away, ball 1. Kicks Farrell on deck. And a hello there to Boogie, who decided to make his way directly into the shot.
Yeah, between pitches, why not? Dane Stewart's up in the pen for Carolina.
1-0, out and away, ball 1. Dane Stewart in the pen would mean someone else would have to come into right field. And there's,
assumedly, Jeff Davis.
you would presume. 2-0. In there, strike 1.
That's a good comeback pitch there from Salter. You don't want to get behind 3-0. Get that off-speed front door right back into the zone. Good pitch.
Westhoff only has 3 hits on the year, 2 of which, though, came on Sunday as he swings and misses on that one for strike 2. It was 2 for 4 last time out against the Locos on Sunday afternoon.
Had a very good day, career day.
2-2. That is on the outside corner, strike 3 called, and a great pitch for out number 1.
Very close pitch at that, but everybody knows if you've played baseball at any point, with 2 strikes, you got to protect the plate, and that is now
That is too close to take.
What Westhoff did exactly, too close to take, and it ended up coming back to bite him. Called strike 3.
First pitch to Farrell, misses low, ball 1.
Farrell's 2 for 2 today, a double and a single.
1-0 to him. Up the middle, but it's chopped high and right at the second baseman. That's Connor who makes the play for out number 2. And Farrell more than displeased with himself as we just heard him slam the bat down in the dugout. And that's the level of frustration we're talking about across the board, and that's pretty indicative of it.
So it has now been a full trip through the lineup without a hit for Carolina.
Kaysen Haggard now takes strike 1 on the outside corner as Dawson Salter is coming right after guys. And punching tickets. 0-1. High, ball 1. He's dialing up the heat, though. You can hear it on the pop of the mitt behind the plate. Bryson Bepper is on deck. Should Haggard reach? Misses down to the way, 2-1.
And Haggard's the perfect guy to get something going here for Carolina. Beber 1 for 2 on deck. Dion, you know what he can do in the hole. 2-out rally here maybe.
2-1 popped up foul, and the count even 2-2. Two and 2 is the count with 2 down in the 7th. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that will end the inning. So Statesville still holds a 9-1 lead through 7 in the Twin City. We are back here in Winston-Salem. Brett Wiseman alongside Graham Tuck as Dane Stewart has taken the mound for Carolina and will make his pitching debut after a scoreless seventh from Henry Kohler. And they've swapped spots. Dane Stewart to the mound, Kohler out to right. And it's Caden Howell at the plate for Statesville, who takes strike one. Caden Howell, the new third baseman for the Owls this evening. Taking over for Mason Staz as that is hit in the air to right. Kohler tested immediately on the run, and that is a foul ball.
You see him jump into the stands over there chasing that one. Very good effort from number 15 in the outfield, but unable to chase that one down.
"12 hits on the day for Statesville. And everyone but the guy on deck has one so far.
At least that started the game.
That's Yadick on deck. Here's the 0-2. In the dirt. Didn't miss by much, though, as it was not quite in the dirt, actually. Good frame by Conklin. And a good pitch, but 1-2 is the count.
That's exactly the spot where Stewart wanted to put that one. Good execution.
1-2. That is in the dirt, and now it's 2-2. Top half of the eighth inning, a 2-2 count. And the Demon Deacon Dane Stewart in his Disco Turkey pitching debut. That one's hit to the right side through the hole, line drive base hit. And fielded by Kohler out in right, so a leadoff single for Caden Howell in his first at-bat. And that will bring up Garrett Yadick.
And that 8 spot today is 3 for 4. Between Mason Staz and Caden Howell.
The shortstop, number 2, Garrett Adley.
So here's Yadick. The only one of that starting 9 without a hit to his credit so far. Misses high, ball 1 from Dane Stewart. It remains to be seen whether we'll have another position player come on to pitch the 9th. That is hit hard to third, and a tough hop. Farrell will try and recover and get the out at first. It's not in time, and as a result of the throw to first, Howell moves up to third, so now it's runners at the corners and nobody out on the E5.
And that hot corner, they call it that for a reason. That's a really tough hop for Farrell. And he's normally a very secure glove in the field for Carolina, just couldn't make that play.
Things have gone from bad to worse this evening. And that's in the air to right center. Kohler will call off the center fielder Tubbs, and the throw to the plate cut off. The sacrifice fly, and it's 10-1.
That's Connor's second RBI of the day. Had one on a single in the second inning. He's put the ball in play every single time since he struck out on 3 pitches in the first inning.
And going before Stewart had even thrown the pitch was Yadick, so Conklin won't even take the throw. It's strike 1, though, and it's an 0-1 count. To Chapman, the left fielder. A check on Yadick at second. Dane Stewart's 0-1 inside, 1-1. Crowd still staying in it and encouraging. On the ground to first. Bryson Beber will field it and take it to first himself. 3 unassisted for out number 2 in the top half of the 8th.
Yeah, and that runner moves over to third, though, so now you still got that's why this is important. The 11th run and what would be a 10-run difference is 90 feet from scoring. And the 10-run rule is in effect, so if Carolina allows Yadick to score and then does not get one in the bottom half of the inning, that's the ball game.
And that is in the air to shallow center, and that's going to drop, and that is going to be, we would think, the ball game.
No, since Carolina's the home team, they've still got
that
the
is
bottom
right.
half
That
of
is
the
right.
inning.
Yes, very good point. Yep. So that'll make it 11-1 on the RBI hit from Weems, the center fielder.
At bat number 17, Tyler
And I'll bring Prell back in for his second at-bat. That's in strike 1 from Dane Stewart. So that will put the 10-run rule into effect. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Again, if Carolina cannot score in the bottom half of this 8th inning,
That'll be it.
Oh-1. Or 0-2, actually. Swung on and foul-tipped into the mid of Logan Conklin, and that'll end the inning. So Carolina's got to score 1 to keep this thing going. It's 11-1 Statesville as they put up 2 more in the 8th. Back here in downtown Winston-Salem, bottom half of the 8th set to go. Jariah Henry has entered the ballgame for the Statesville Owls. Can close the book on Dawson Salter. 2 scoreless innings for him. 2 strikeouts and 6 batters faced on just 18 pitches.
And no hits is the important thing there as well for Salter, just absolutely coming in and shutting down Carolina for 2 innings. Davis is going to hit for Beber.
So if there is a top half of the ninth, it'd be interesting to see who would come in.
I believe Musser is available.
That misses inside to Davis, ball one.
Disco Turkeys. Number 1, Jeffrey Davis.
Jeffrey Davis in 12 appearances so far this year, batting an even 200. With 4 extra base hits to his credit. And a big rip at that one, but he didn't get it. It's 1-1.
And just a reminder, Carolina has got to get at least 1 run across this inning to keep this game alive and send it to the 9th.
One to Davis. Big swing and a miss, strike 2. Henry is bringing it out of the bullpen.
Didn't even see him warm up, but he's...
Didn't look like he needed to be quite honest with you.
He is pumping heat, that's for sure.
1-2 to Davis. Swing and a miss. Filthy breaking ball. Strike 1, strike 3. Out, number 1. Davis is retired quickly. Dane Stewart is on deck.
Next up, center fielder number 3, Dion Tubbs.
In what would be originally D. Hawthorne's spot in the order.
And it would be Stewart's first time up. He's hitting for himself at this point. Hawthorne was 0 for 3 with 3 Ks.
Now Dion Tubbs steps in and whacks that one into right field. That's a base hit for Dion. He'll make the turn at first and stop there, and in a 1-out base runner here in the bottom half of the 8th for Carolina.
Well, if you need 1 run, that's the guy to get on base to do it. A single for Dion is essentially a double because you know he's going to try to take second. Earlier tonight, he got his 13th steal of the season. Keep in mind, only 19 games, and Dion did not play in all of them. This is Dion's 16th game played, 15th start.
So Dane Stewart's first at-bat with St. Laurent on deck. Takes high, ball 1.
And with that single, Tubbs keeps his hitting streak alive at 6 consecutive games with a base knock for number 3 now.
He's been consistently one of the best players on this ball club to this point, and we'll certainly touch on that tomorrow in the pregame and our midseason awards as Stewart takes up and in, ball 2.
And if you missed it, I should say, earlier we mentioned that this round of midseason awards was voted on by the game day staff here at the Disco Turkeys, but at the end of the season we'll have season awards voted on by the players and the game day staff, so stay tuned. Keep watching the rest of the month of July for that one.
2-0 in the dirt, ball 3. Hard to believe we're already in the final month of the regular season.
I know.
And a month from now, we'll be in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, August 1st through the 8th, bringing you the Triple ABA tournament, one of the more prestigious college woodbat tourneys in all the land. And Carolina will be fortunate enough to be a part of it. 3-0. Right down the pipe, strike 1.
And Dane has been very boom or bust like Hawthorne at the plate this year. Dane has now struck out 20 times on the season, but when he puts it in play, he gets a hold of it, that's for sure. He's got 4 extra base hits on the year.
3-1 is the count on him. Up and in, ball 4. So another 1-out base runner, and that'll bring St. Laurent to the plate.
And St. Laurent is 0 for 3 on the day, but he's put the ball in play the last 2 times he's come up. Keep an eye out for the double steal here.
2 pretty fleet-of-foot guys on base.
And with only 1 out, even if you get 1 thrown out, you still got a runner in scoring position, whether it's Dane at second or Tubbs at third.
Yep, either way, somebody's in scoring position. The first pitch to St. Laurent. That's hit in the air to shallow center. Going to be a tough play coming on to make it. Is Weems, and that's out number 2. So St. Laurent goes first pitch swinging and gets under it, and now it'll be up to Logan Conklin to extend the ball game.
And Logan represents the only run that came across for Carolina so far today. He had that big double to lead off the second inning, and then he was brought in on a ground ball by Nick McAdon. A good read by Conklin. He advanced on the throw from the pitcher to first base and ended up coming in to score.
First pitch to Conklin is a big-time fastball that swung on and missed for strike 1.
And Conklin's tied for third on the team in RBIs with 6. Got a chance to move up to Ty Henry Kohler for second with 7. Keep in mind, first place is Caleb Smith with 8. And Smith hasn't played nearly as many games as these other guys, so that just speaks to how good he's been this year with bringing in runs.
0-1 the count to the Carolina catcher. Big-time fastball. Boy, he is bringing it. And then some, and potentially now Carolina down to their final strike.
Kohler is on deck.
Should Conklin be able to reach? Oh, 2. Just missed outside, 1-2.
It's a very good spot. He's been running the ball in on right-handed batters this entire inning.
And set up for it.
That was a called strike 3 pitch right there. Would have been the second time today Conklin struck out looking on 3 pitches, but staying alive for at least one more pitch.
Here comes the 1-2. Did he go? No, ball 2.
Yeah, Conklin wasn't even close to coming around on that pitch.
I agree, but always got to wait for what the base umpire says on the appeal, because sometimes on a check swing you can be surprised. The 2-2. Low and away, and Conklin has gone from 0-2 to work it full.
And runners should be moving on the pitch here. So we'll finally see that double steal.
Full count pitch. On the inside corner, strike 3 called, and that's the ball game. Statesville clobbers Carolina here this afternoon/evening. 11-1 in 8th inning, in 8 innings. And Carolina has dropped their 5th in a row.
And it's just a tough one to swallow for Carolina. This matches their longest losing streak of the year. They also lost 5 in a row between the first homestand and the second road trip of the year. But for Carolina, you got some good chances to come back and get some dubs in the column this weekend. But tomorrow it's not going to get any easier as the Bigfoots come to town.
That's going to be a big one tomorrow evening against the Bigfoots. And we know what happened here last Saturday night. Disco Turkey's looking for revenge in that regard. But a tough one to swallow tonight. 11-1 the final in 8 innings. Statesville victorious. We'll be back with you tomorrow with our midseason awards in the Game Day Gobble pregame. And then first pitch coming up at 5:35 here on the Disco Turkey YouTube. For Graham Tuck on color commentary and everyone on our Game Day staff that makes this ship run as smoothly as it does, Brett Wiseman saying good night from Winston-Salem.